Oh, hey everybody, how you doing? It's Paul. Sometimes all work and no play makes Paul a dull boy, and in keeping with this, I have to go to something else in order to be able to make a little bit of levity here. But one thing that you'll notice about my channel is that we're not talking about just levity. We're talking about an opportunity to learn. Okay, and that when you can kind of relax and learn at the same time, that's the fun thing. So I won't go into the whole thing with you. I'll just give you an example. I'm going to show you some baseball things right now for the people here in the Commonwealth, and it's rather interesting and fun. So let's have a look at this stuff. And I want to tell you because sometimes you can learn. And for example, you'll hear talk around the water cooler sometime, and they'll say, well, that person made an end run. And maybe trying to get a job, they made an end run. And what it meant was they went around the typical sources and tried to sneak their way to the boss and get a job or whatever. And that comes from football. It's an end run. Instead of plowing through the middle or to the near middle, you go all the way to the side and then go as far as you can before the sideline where you'll be out, and you go and try to get around that way. Does it work? Sometimes. Why? Yes, there is a reason why, and that is because in the middle, you're dealing with a lot of big men in football, backs, linebackers, and linemen and so forth. When you go around them, you're quicker. As a running back is quicker, of course, than a defensive end or a defensive tackle. So they're likely going to beat them, and if they can beat them, they may be able to get 3 or 4 yards or 5 yards or 15 yards or whatever. So there is a rhyme to the reason. Now, let's go ahead and let me show you stuff, because I think that this is really entertaining. Because we're going to be looking at some things, okay? We're going to be looking at some things that you may not think make sense, and I'm going to show you how to make sense of them, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Okay. This right here was a real bad thing. Well, hang on and I'll pull it up for you. Hang on. Okay, folks, I found this. This is called Christian Yelich ejected at first base. And I'm going to tell you what this is all about, and I'm going to explain the rule to you. And you'll catch a couple other little things, because I was a pretty good baseball player in my time. In fact, if I had somebody that could have beefed me up, I had the skills necessary, possibly, to go into the minor leagues. And I just had a natural gift for it. So let me start you off with this. We have a player that is getting ejected, and it's because even though he's played Little League Baseball, even though he's played in Major League game after Major League game, season after season, in Major League Baseball, you make mistakes base running. You make mistakes not only base running. Baseball is hard, and it's part of what makes Americans Americans. Now, Japanese play this too. Okay? The difference with the Japanese is that the Japanese consider themselves bigger than the game. As you will see, if you look at their big stars, baseball comes secondary to the big stars. They'll prance them all around and all this, and you can tell it's all about them, not about the game. United States, they make the game sacred. You understand? Nobody's bigger than the game. That's why Pete Rose was put out for gambling. Okay? He was the greatest hustle athlete ever seen, but he liked to gamble on the games, including the ones he was playing in, unfortunately. So, anyways, I'm going to explain this to you. Let's go ahead and watch it. You won't see me now, you'll see the thing. And there's a rule in baseball. When you hit the ball as a batter, you need to go to first base, okay? If it's a fly ball, you need to go. If it's a grounder, you need to go. If it's a hit back to the mound and the pitcher catches it in the air, you're out. You really don't have to go. But generally speaking, you need to go. Okay, and unless there's you strike out. But even when you strike out, I told you, if that catcher misses the ball or it drops out of his glove, you're free to run to first base if you haven't left the batter's box and you see it. See, and you get to first base before that ball does, or before you're tagged by one of the defensive players with the ball, you're safe. It's not an out at all. You understand? Baseball is funny. It's a funny thing. That's why it's so comical at times, because it shows who the smarter people are. I'm sorry to say that, but at least at the moment in the quick thinking. Now, here's a player ejected. I'm going to run you through this, and let's go ahead and take a run through this, okay? Here it is. Okay, we got a commercial here, so stand by. Looks like it's off here in a second. Okay.
Hey, man. Damn it.
All right, here we go. Here's the play. Okay, now you see what's going on here. We've got a batter at the plate. He's a left-handed hitter. And we've got the pitcher winding up to throw the ball. Okay, now let's see what happens here. Sorry, folks. Just flipped it forward. Sorry. Here we go. I got to do it again. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. This team needs a base runner, the batting team. Here's the pitch. Okay, he's bunting, which is legal. Now the pitcher gets the ball and he throws it. Okay. Now. So what's going on?
Damn, I read that wrong. That's my bad. But the umpire's just staring.
Look at the smirk.
The first baseman sees it. He tags him out.
You're out.
He says you're out. He says, "Are you fucking shitting me?"
Yeah. How is that? No. How is that?
Fuck you. Fuck
Okay. So how is that? You want me to explain? In baseball, there would be two ways of this happening. You hit the ball and you hit it into the outfield, or you hit it into some place where you know you're going to be digging for two bases. You're going to be digging for second. You got to go to first, touch first, come around first, go to second. That's when you're digging for two. It's called, digging for two, or trying for a double, right? Or a triple, or whatever it is, inside the park home run, whatever it is. You're digging for extra bases, not just a single. In a situation where you hit the ball into the infield or wherever, and you know that as a runner, there's going to be a very close play at first base, there are rules associated with this, and I told you, baseball is nearly perfected. It's nearly perfected with fairness in the rules. Now, the rule states that you can't get a full head of steam and stop all at 1 second on first base. That's not the way it works. Not when you're hustling, trying to get to that first base bag to beat the throw, what they'd call beat the throw. Or if somebody's trying to tag you and they have the ball and they're chasing you, whatever it is, you can't just stop on first base and give all your hustle. So there's rules for that. The rule states that, and this is very clear, and you had two eggheads here. You had the batter, and you had the other guy that was apologizing for him too. And I'll show you later on in the video. The rule states that you can overshoot first base. You can overshoot it. That's legal. Here's the critical rule. The first base line, like this, okay? If you have first base here and you go past it, you have a first base line that goes all the way to the outfield and right to the thing, right to the line. If you are running down that line, any coach that's worth his weight in salt is going to tell you, before you get tricked like this man on a mental error, make sure that when you run, that you do not lean towards second base, or you do not go over that baseline. In other words, if you're running and digging on a close play and you want to get to first base, and you know you're going to shoot past first base, then for God's sakes, cut to the right. Go to the right. Don't ever stay on that line to where your feet can go over into the field of play. Because if you do, guess what? You are now considered off base. You're considered on first base. You made it. You understand? As long as your foot touched the bag when you went. So you are now officially considered off base. You understand? Like same thing as if you were leading to try to steal a base. You are now considered legal to be touched out. Now, who figured that out? The guy with the big grin with the red face, with the red shirt. He figured it out. Why? Because he knew. He was smarter than the other American there. He was smarter. He was quicker. That's what this country is all about, or used to be. Not anymore. But baseball is. So, what happened here? He forgot that because he was confused. The ball was thrown and it went past the first baseman and it rolled somewhere, and he had designs on going to second base, which is legal. It's also not guaranteed unless the ball goes into the dugout or something like that. There's a dugout. If it goes in there, you're entitled to second base. The umps will award it. They'll give you second base. They'll point to second base, and you get it. But if the ball is still somewhat in play and it's not gone into the dugout or some weird thing like in the stands or something like that, if the ball jumps into the stands, the referee's going to say take second base. You're entitled to it. If not, there could be a play. Somebody, a defensive player with a glove could go and pick up the ball. Right? So, what happened? He was confused. He ran down the baseline and he forgot to stay to the right. Why? Because he had designs on running to second base, because he saw that the ball went by him and that there was some brouhaha there. So what he did was he forgot where he was at. And he should have gotten over to the right side of the line. That would have indicated to the umpires that he had no intention of running, therefore being safe on first base. But he didn't. He stayed near that line and even crossed over it to the left in the field of play, thereby indicating to the umpire that he's in the field of play and that he did think about going to second base. This also is dependent upon the umpire. You understand? So this could have gone either way. As it were, this umpire was tough. So now you want to see it in all its glory? And you got the crybaby there that's crying about it, and then he gets ejected out of the game. Folks, that's the way the rules work in baseball, and it's really tough because these are men that don't like to lose. So you want to watch it in its entirety? It's only a minute, right? 30 seconds. So here we go. Enjoy, and then that'll be that, okay? Here we go.
Down 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. They need a base runner to get something going, and Yelich sees the perfect opportunity to get
okay,
on.
good bunt.
A little bunt.
Nice little bunt. Okay, looks like he's going to beat it. There's the throw. It's an errant throw. It doesn't matter whether or not it hits the runner. That doesn't matter. Look where he's at. Look where he's at. Look where he's at. You see his smirk? You're out.
Ump says you're out. He says, "Are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? No. I can't be doing that. Fuck you. Now, the other guy should have known as well. He should have told him to get over to the right, but he didn't. And there you have it. So now he's going to get into more trouble. He could even incur a fine. And it's his fault too. He should have known. This guy right here should have known. It's very simple. If you're digging down the baseline on a close play to first base, stay to the right. See what he did? See what he did? He's legal. He's legal right there. And it's up to the umpire to determine
see?
That, which is so wide open.
There you go. There you have it. And he's just going to come up and take the ball, give him a smirk, and tag him out.
He didn't attempt to go to second at all.
Right, but you can still be called out. That's the rule.
That's not attempting to go to second.
Well,
thinking maybe I should go
that's the rule. And the umpires will enforce it. You can best believe that. I've seen this happen before. See how he made the turn initially? See how he initially made a kind of a turn? Well, the guy's going to pick up the ball and tag him out. There's your first lesson in baseball. Whenever you're digging for first base and you know it's going to be a close play, stay to the right, or you'll be tagged out. Bye.